I'd like you to share a little bit about the work that you do with Greg and the transformational work that he shares in his courses. And I know that you spent a lot of time with Greg. You spent 5 years in a community in Austria with Greg where a lot of his work developed. So could you share a little bit about some of the results that you've experienced in your life?
I think the big results in the beginning of this work was that I came into this acting school. I was 17 when I started this work, and I always wanted to become an actress. And there's in Austria this big famous acting school where 1,000 people want to get in there each year, and they take about 12. And I somehow was drawn to do this course with Greg, and I found it. I just found this is exactly what brings me into my power and into my authentic self-expression. So I did this work for a year, and then actually I did the audition again. I tried it twice, and they took me. And it was this was like the first main result. And then I was there for a while, and then I kept doing this work, and I found out that it is actually my truth to stop this acting school and to go more deeper into this work. And then I lived on Etcedera in this community for 5 years. And well, the next main result, I would say, is that I lost a bunch of weight, about 10 kilo, which is really changed my body a lot, actually, and also how my body awareness. And then the next result is that I received this story at some point in the Latihan. Is Latihan explained at some point? Should I explain Latihan?
No, I mean, it's also part of the website, so...
Okay, so I received this story, this dragon story. I got the story like in pictures. I got the end of the story first. Picture, 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 picture. Till the whole thing was here. And I wrote it all down, and I realized that this is a fucking great story for kids. And I started to... I made a CD out of it. And then I made a children's theater out of it, and I was living on it for 3 years. And I felt like the dragon power really, I felt like, you know, serves me, and I'm just sitting on the dragon, and it was so smooth. And other results, I mean, my relationships to my parents, I'm so grateful that there is such a deep love and deep completion to both of my parents. I moved out when I was 15 from their house, and I came then back when I was 22, and I lived with them for a year. And I did also the clearing work there, and I shared with them about this work, and they just so see me and so appreciate what I'm doing, and I see them and appreciate what they're doing. And there's such a deep, I mean, the love is anyway, no question, but also a deep acceptance. And I feel now like just knowing that the relationship to my parents is so real and so, you know, I mean, it gives so much energy. That this is to both of them so complete and so nurturing. And I mean, this is all in Austria. Now I'm in America, and the connection is is totally there, even if we don't talk for weeks sometimes. So, and then, I mean, I feel like my whole life is, since I'm doing this work since 10 years, it's all a result of this work. And just that I'm now here, that we created now this community, that I really can do whatever I want. I don't have to do anything in order to do what I want, you know, it's like, should I share about you?
Well, you can share, sure, you can share about me and our relationship, if you like, your trip to Hawaii and what came out of that. I mean, whatever you'd like to share.
Yeah. So after about 3 years, when I did my children's theater and everything, and at some point I had this intention to live my life more out of my inner feminine. I was the 3 years very much in my masculine. I was like, you know, doing this at this time, doing this at this time, it was all planned, and I loved it. I totally loved it. But then I was like, I really want to feel more this feminine part of myself. And I set this intention, and the next week I would have had, I think, 4 performances the next week, and I couldn't go to 2, and to 1 I came too late, which never happened before. I played the Dragon Story about 200 times, and it never happened that I would come too late. And 2 I actually had to cancel, and my body started to hurt, and was like, oh my God, you know, there's such a big intention, and my body totally reacted to it. And then I felt like I need to take a break from playing children's theater, and I wanted to just stay at my place for 2 or 3 months and just go in myself and see what's next. And at this time, the community didn't exist anymore. So what I did at this time, I created my own Ladihan group with a few friends, and we would do Ladihan every Sunday. And I shared this with my friends. And one of my best friends, Flo, said, why don't you go now to Hawaii? I mean, I talked about something in me said since years, go to Hawaii. And I knew that Greg was before there, and Nadia, but they were not there at this point. So I was like, why do I feel like I have to go to Hawaii? And my friend said, go now to Hawaii. You know, now it's time for it. And I said, I don't have enough money. Boo, 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 boo. And she actually supported me and lent me this money. And it was a big process for me to really receive this money, to just say, okay. And she said, you're good with money. You come back and you will make it. And if you take a year to pay it back, it's totally fine. So I had actually lots of clearing to do to just receive this. And well, then I wrote to you. I knew that you were in Hawaii, and I asked you if I could stay with you for a while. First I would go camping, then I would come to you, and then I would go camping again. I said, sure, and I went camping for a week, then I came to you, and I never went camping again. It's pretty magical to feel like coming home.
Beautiful.
And then hearing, we shared like on the 3rd day. I mean, before I was like never into marrying anyone, and suddenly I had this feeling like sharing what marriage means to me, and you shared what marriage means to you, and I just saw it's like that fucking fits. And I said, wanna marry me? No, I said actually, I want to marry you. And you cried for 5 minutes, and then I said, do you mean for real? I mean, I just meant like a spiritual marriage. And you said then, sure, you can have the green card, all the freedom you want, of course, but you can stay as long as you want and everything. And I could feel in this moment a door opened here, and I can go through it, or I can go back, but it's it just felt on every level right. And then I talked to my friends in Austria, and they all thought I'm crazy now. I just see you since 3 days. I mean, we knew each other since 10 years before, but we hadn't had a real relationship before. But now everyone gets it, in Austria, that this is totally my truth. And then just being with you in Hawaii, and then creating with you here this place, and all the things that are waiting for us to be created together.
Thank you. Can you share a little bit about your experience of Greg as a person, as well as a facilitator for the workshops?
I mean, the main thing that comes present right now is what I appreciate most of him is that he really stays in the unknown. In every process he does with people, there's no technique where this is now and this is next. He's really, when I watch processes, I'm sometimes like, I think I know already what's next. And he slows down so much that sometimes it happens what I think already, but sometimes a whole different door opens. And I see him always as just being here and bringing people in the present so that they can share their own truth. And I feel like he's such a stand for that people get their own masterhood. He's just a stand for slowing down, that the clarity can show up. And just the last course, I was so blown away. Seeing everyone so in their beauty and in their wisdom, and also the courage of everyone to go so deeply into their shit. It's very mind-blowing for me. And when we were in Austria, the 5 years, we did workshop actually 24/7. And I realized more and more and more what an energy he held the whole time, 24/7. And we were all way less partner than we are now. So I think that's the main thing that I want to share about him.
Okay, thank you. Have you seen, what kind of results have you seen with other people, like friends or relationships, or people that you're close to that have done this work? What kind of results have they gotten? Can you share a little bit about that?
It's so hard for me to share about other people.
Maybe a few people that have been close to you that have seen results from this work.
Do you have any names present where you feel like I should share? don't want to gossip. And I don't know, if I get the process really right of them. It's just how I see it, and maybe there's a whole different thing going on.
Have you seen results with that?
Oh, fuck! Everyone who does this work, even if they did just like one course, they had a breakthrough. And a few people came through me to the courses. Some people would then keep, like back then on etc., they would come to one course and had their breakthroughs, and then that's it. Some people would keep coming to the Sunday Ladihans and had, would continue having breakthroughs through this work. We all have breakthroughs anyway, but it's just speeding up. This work speeds it up, and it's a great tool to really feel your truth, what you really want. You can have breakthroughs in your identity thing, and then you're not really happy. But to really feel what your soul really, really wants, and what's really integrated, yummy. So it's hard for me to share about other people, like specific stories or so. I don't want to.
Thank you. Just from your own personal experience, and I know you've done some other work besides this, what do you think makes this so unique or different from other types of work?
I feel like that it's really integrated, that it seems maybe from the outside sometimes slow, but it's real. It's really in the body. I know other people who did not do this work and who go into a certain direction, and some of them I feel like are kind of pulling themselves apart. Some part is really far out there and like clearer and everything than I am right now, and some part is like so full of shit, and I really like about this work that it keeps me together. It makes me maybe slow down, but the whole me moves, and everything transforms. Really, I see it in my body. I see it all around me. I see it in my relationships. I see it with my money. It's all together. And other things I tried, it just felt always like made up. And of course there are tons of other great things out there, but for me this work is just my foundation, and then out of this I can learn this technique and this and this and this, but I want to hold this as my foundation. This always keeps me together. So
great, thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to share about your experience of the work, or what it's meant for you in your life to feel complete?
I think the main thing for me in this work is that I really feel love. That I really can feel love. And that I know what it is for me. And that I can really, really, really love.
Great.
So.
Thank you.